Hello, and welcome to Chabot News for December 5th, 2018. I'm Jonathan Michiano, and today's news, we'll be covering the death of the creator of SpongeBob and a local police shooting. In entertainment, we have Saniel covering the work of large gaming company Bethesda. In Top 5, Maxine will cover the top 5 most memorable SpongeBob episodes. And in sports, we have Brenda going over why Coach McCarthy got fired. All that and more coming up on Chabot News. President Donald Trump spoke more extensively during the presidential election with his then attorney, Michael Cohen, about the proposed Trump Tower project in Moscow than Cohen admitted to Congress last year. Cohen said while pleading guilty Thursday in federal court to a charge from special counsel Robert Mueller's office. Cohen, who previously said talks about the Moscow project had ended in January 2016, just prior to the Iowa caucuses, said he had lied out of a sense of obligation to Trump. Steven Hillenburg, the creator of the mega-hit Nickelodeon cartoon series SpongeBob SquarePants, died on Monday. He was 57. Cause of death was ALS, which Hillenburg revealed he had been diagnosed with in March of last year. He began his animation career in 1987, pursuing a degree in experimental animation at the California Institute of Arts in Valencia, and earning his master's in fine arts in 1992. From 1993 to 1996, he would pursue work in television as a director and writer on Nickelodeon series Rocko's Modern Life. From there, he began to work full-time on writing, producing, and directing on the animated series that would eventually become SpongeBob SquarePants. It appealed not only to children, but older viewers as well, with college students, such as myself, even organizing viewing parties for the show. Hillenburg's original characters in the world of Bikini Bottom will long stand as a reminder of the value of optimism, friendship, and the limitless power of imagination. Now to Saniel for entertainment.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well-known and beloved creator Stephen Hillenburg of the SpongeBob series died. The Oklahoma native was well remembered for the love and joy that he brought to billions. The marine biologist teacher turned animator died of the neurodegenerative disease, commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The creator notified his fans of his disease only last year of March 2017. The creator sought directional work at Nickelodeon from 1993 to 1996 and has gotten the first episode aired May 1st, 1991. As stated by Jonathan, since then, the TV series has won U.S. and British Emmy Awards, Annie Awards, and ASACP Awards, and has been dubbed and subtitled in more than 60 languages and spun 2 feature films, with the third one due out in 2020, with also being nominated by the Broadway Musical Awards for the 12 Broadway Awards this year, with them winning the Best Scenic Design. From college viewing parties to children intentionally looking at the screen, SpongeBob was loved by many and all, and the creator Stephen Hillenburg, our hearts go out to you and your family. With the holiday spirit in the air and people needing gift ideas, so many things to look at, the latest toys and video games, one video game made large headlines and not for any of the good reasons. Bethesda, a large video game studio known for its critically acclaimed video games such as Elder Scrolls series and Fallout series. Well, the studio released a new Fallout iteration game called Fallout 76, and the studio is feeling a horrid spew of negative criticism for the game. From various bugs written in the game to a poor working quality of graphics that fans feel copy and pasted, or even a far worse quality from their last game, Fallout 4. And the largest controversy to come out of the company is a refund policy that they didn't follow through with. Since the Business Insider stated that Milagio and Rapid LLC, a Washington, D.C. law firm, has decided to investigate Bethesda and is still in consideration for filing a class action lawsuit for deceptive trade practices. Now back to you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Saniel. Chabot is holding a welcome day for new students on January 17 from 3 to 5 p.m. in the Event Center, Building 700S. As usual during this event, students will get all the information they need, like special programs offered, financial aid informations, and of course the opportunity to make new friends and meet some Chabot faculty. For more information, you can go on the Chabot website at chabotcollege.edu/visit. On Thursday, December 6th, Chabot College had a Transfer Basics event. This event was held in building C700 from room 758 from 5 to 6 p.m. The organization was responsible for the event was the Chabot Transfer Center. This event's purpose was to help students who are trying to transfer to a four-year university. In the session, students were much more informed on what they need to transfer and how the process works. It was a pretty straightforward event and just one of the many events that Chabot holds each semester to lend a helping hand to its students. The Bay Area is known for being a melting pot of cultures, and those cultures also bring their unique dishes and cuisines. Now, the Bay's first Liberian restaurant has opened up, and the food isn't the only thing on the menu. Kendeja, located in Pelton Plaza in San Leandro, offers a laminated card before you begin eating, detailing a brief history of Liberia and its culture. Not only does this give context for some of the traditional dishes, but also helps bring awareness to a side of Africa that not many people here in America are aware of. As for the food, owner Dougie Uso describes it as a blend of Liberian tradition and American soul food. Some of the best sellers on the menu include the braised oxtail with rice and beans, a rice plate with cooked with spices and peppers called jollof rice, and fried red snapper with tomato pepper gravy. If you want to try a rare culinary experience and also learn something new, Kendeja is the place to go. Now to Maxine for the top 5 SpongeBob SquarePants episodes.
In honor of the passing of Stephen Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, our top 5 this week are the top 5 SpongeBob episodes, according to me. As a huge SpongeBob fan, this has been one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. Number 5, Something Smells. During the episode of Something Smells, SpongeBob wakes up one morning and realizes that it is Sunday, and so decides to have a ice cream sundae for breakfast. However, he sees that he has no ice cream and finds standard toppings like bananas and cherries to be a blasé. So he instead creates a new type of sundae made from onions, ketchup, and the contents of a nearly dead potted peanut plant. On SpongeBob's to-do list, he walks around and says hi to everyone who ends up running away from him due to his breath. SpongeBob is very confused by this and asks Patrick if he notices anything wrong with him. Patrick, not having nose, can't smell his foul breath. After running down a list of possibilities, Patrick comes to the conclusion that SpongeBob is just simply ugly. At some point, Patrick also eats SpongeBob's sundae and people run away from him as well. By the end of the episode, they realize that they aren't ugly and that they just stink, and proudly exclaim it with joy throughout the town. Number 4, Frankendoodle. During the episode of Frankendoodle, an artist in a rowboat is sketching on an ocean surface and drops his pencil in the ocean. Down in the bikini bottom, the pencil happens to land right in between SpongeBob and Patrick. While at first being scared of the pencil, they end up doodling with it. They soon come to discover that whatever they draw with a pencil is brought to life and thus dub it the magic pencil. SpongeBob soon draws Doodlebob, a sketch version of himself intended to fool Squidward. However, Doodlebob beats Squidward up and steals the magic pencil, going off to wreak havoc across the bikini bottom. SpongeBob eventually turns the tide of battle and uses the pencil's eraser to rub out Doodlebob. Number 3, Pizza Delivery. From the episode Pizza Delivery, the Krusty Krab receives a call from a customer ordering a pizza, and Mr. Krabs sends SpongeBob and Squidward to deliver it. When SpongeBob and Squidward become stranded in the middle of a desert, they get into numerous predicaments, giving us the moment where SpongeBob breaks into song singing "The Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me" in numerous ways. At the end of the episode, we see a different side of Squidward as he defends SpongeBob from an ungrateful customer who claims that they forgot his drink. Number 2, Goofy Goober. Although it's not really an episode from the series, I believe that the SpongeBob SquarePants movie deserves a spot on the list, just for the Goofy Goober scene. From the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, SpongeBob and Patrick embark on a quest to clear the name of Mr. Krabs, who has been framed for stealing the crown of King Neptune. During the final scene, Plankton is attempting to control everyone's minds until SpongeBob bursts out into song about how "I'm a Goofy Goober, you're a Goofy Goober, we're all Goofy Goobers," and breaks everyone out of Plankton's trance. And the number 1 best SpongeBob moment is the Bubble Bowl. Hands down, no question, that is and will forever be the best SpongeBob episode ever. From the episode Band Geek, Squidward tries to put together a band last second after he insists that he has a band to impress Squilliam, a former high school classmate, who has succeeded in everything in which Squidward has failed. During their 1 week of training, the band performs consistently poor and fails to improve at all. However, SpongeBob convinces the band members to go through the performance for Squidward's sake. On the day of the concert, Squilliam shows up in order to see Squidward fail. Squidward claims that his band died in a marching accident. However, Squidward's band shows up and he is forced to go through with the performance. They enter a large glass dome, complete with human fans. Squidward turns his head away from the band before they begin, assuming that the performance will be a disaster. But the band is tremendously successful, playing a rock ballad titled Sweet Victory. Squilliam enters a state of shock and faints, leaving Squidward to celebrate as he leaps into the air. Ever since this episode has aired, this has been a moment all SpongeBob fans wish they could see in real life. So much to the point to where fans are petitioning for the NFL to play Sweet Victory during the Super Bowl halftime show as a tribute to Steven Hillenburg. I just want to say that SpongeBob has always been one of my favorite shows as a kid, and it's such an impact to the point to where I had a bubble buddy made out of styrofoam and quote SpongeBob episodes at least every day. And with that, thank you, Steven Hillenburg, for the laughs. SpongeBob was nothing but a sweet, sweet victory. Back to you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Maxine, for those amazing episode choices. In recent news, Hayward police released information about a police shooting last week. 29-year-old Augustin Gonzalez was shot 13 times by 2 officers after police received a call about a man acting erratically and waving a knife around. When police arrived at the scene, witnesses say that Gonzalez was carrying an object in his right hand and was sobbing as he walked towards officers, telling them that they would have to kill him. The object turned out to be nothing but a razor blade. The lawyer for the victim's family is claiming that this is yet another case of police needlessly escalating a situation with a mentally impaired person and resorting to deadly force when other alternatives would have been used. The identities of the officers involved were not disclosed, and the Hayward Police Department declined to comment if the officers were placed on administrative leave. The past 30 years, Bob Stanley has put on a massive Christmas light show outside his Pleasanton home. It has been dubbed Bob's World by his neighbors and has drawn up to 10,000 visitors to see the spectacle. Sadly, Stanley has announced that this will be the last year that Bob's World will be on display. Stanley's wife says, quote, "It's just time. He's 73 years old and shouldn't be on a roof." Bob's World not only attracts the local families and children, it also has prompted some senior homes to create special trips to see the light show, as well as limousines full of holiday fans. After the holidays are over, Stanley plans on selling the various fixtures he has created over the years to other Christmas light enthusiasts. Starting on December 13, you can visit the final showing of Bob's World at 2312 Cal Reynoso Street, which will stay lit until December 30. Now, on to Brenda for sports.
After a 20-17 loss to the Arizona Cardinals, the Green Bay Packers have decided to move on from coach Mike McCarthy. After their playoff hopes went down the drain as they fell to 4-7, it's not hard to see why the Packers made this decision. Many Packers fans are not complaining about the decision, though. McCarthy managed to get 125 wins, 77 losses, and 2 ties with the team. However, in the playoffs, the Packers were 10-8 and only won Super Bowl. Due to this, some consider McCarthy to have underperformed with the Packers. This considering he had 2 all-time great quarterbacks in Brett Favre and then, of course, Aaron Rodgers. For now, the Packers are on the hunt for a new head coach, trying to get at least 1 more Super Bowl in the Rodgers era. With the same teams competing year after year, the college football playoff might be losing viewers. According to USA Today, people might be losing interest and the college football playoff might have become stale. It's understandable seeing as Alabama, Oklahoma, and Clemson all have made the playoffs in 3 of the last 4 years. It seems people might want to watch other teams and not just the same thing every year. It could be a big deal or it could not. Depends on how you see it. At the end, every sport team has their dynasty moment. This is just a good moment for these 3 colleges. It will pass eventually, just like in every sport. Back to you, Jonathan.
Okay.
Are we good?
Was that good? Do you want to do it again?
If we have time. I feel like it was okay though.
She feels like it's okay, but she said she has.
Try and slow down a little. You were really rushing through it.
Okay.
And it's Brett Favre.
Favre. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a 20-17 loss to the Arizona Cardinals, the Green Bay Packers have decided to move on from coach Mike McCarthy. After their playoff hopes went down the drain as they fell to 4-7, it's not hard to see why the Packers made this decision. Many Packers fans are not complaining about the decision, though. McCarthy managed to get 125 wins, 77 losses, and 2 ties with the team. However, in the playoffs, the Packers were 10-8 and only won 1 Super Bowl. Due to this, some consider McCarthy to have underperformed with the Packers. This considering he had 2 all-time great quarterbacks in Brett Favre and then, of course, Aaron Rodgers. For now, the Packers are on the hunt for a new head coach trying to get at least 1 Super Bowl in the Rodgers era. With the same teams competing year after year, the college football playoff might be losing viewers. According to USA Today, people might be losing interest and the college football playoff might have become stale. It's understandable seeing as Alabama, Oklahoma, and Clemson have all made the playoffs in 3 of the last 4 years. It seems people might want to watch other teams and not just the same thing every year. It could be a big deal or it could not, depends on how you see it. At the end, every sport team has their dynasty moment. This is just a good moment for these 3 colleges. It will pass eventually, just like in every sport. Back to you, Jonathan.
We sent a reporter, Enrique, to ask people what the best gift they've received is. Let's take a look.
I'm Ricardo Zavala, and the best gift that I received was money. Not because it's, money, but because you can use that for anything to get any gifts you want. So it's technically not just one gift, but many gifts, unlimited gifts.
My favorite gift was probably a PS3 when I was younger. Then okay, favorite gift or best gift I got was a dirt bike in like 6th grade.
A woman in Ohio has finally accomplished her personal goal after 30 years. Betty Banks has been knitting and crocheting 6,000 hats and 50 Afghans for newborn Ohio babies. Banks says she loves knitting, has been doing it for 72 years, ever since she picked up her first pair of needles when she was 16 years old. About 30 years ago, she began volunteering at the Atria Medical Center, where a friend gave her the idea to put her knitting skills to use. She took her work seriously and wanted to give new parents something to commemorate for the special day. Families love picking out the right hat for their newborns, and it has made Betty a local celebrity of sorts. It's safe to say that Betty won't be stopping anytime soon. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff from the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us online anytime at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV.